We hope you're enjoying John Dash and Friends today as John sits down with two special guests, Betty Jean Perry and Sharon Brown. They are members of a vibrant group known as the Red Hat Divas, part of a worldwide society that encourages women to truly get the most out of life. The Red Hat Society celebrates women supporting one another in the pursuit of fun, friendship, freedom, fitness, and the fulfillment of lifelong dreams. Betty Jean Perry serves as the queen of the local chapter, helping lead a community built on joy, encouragement, and connection. You're going to love this conversation. You are watching John Dash and Friends.
All right. Now, I'm here with Sharon Brown, and I'm here with Betty, who is a blessing. I got to know Betty through being on the fair board. Mm-hmm. And don't believe we met before that, but we have so interesting, and we get to talking about stuff, and I like interesting people, okay? And I tried to get you to argue with me 2 or 3 times, and you never would do that. But I was trying to work you into it, but I couldn't get you into it. But is it called the Red Hat Society?
Yes, and the name of theirs is the Red Hat Classy Divas.
Okay.
You can form your own name, But in the beginning, it was Sue Ellen Cooper from California. And she started out with buying a red hat for a friend of hers that just turned 55. She did it as a joke.
Right.
So she bought the red hat and the purple dress, and some of her other friends liked it. So they went out and got them the same thing. So then they had a tea party, April the 25th, 1998, and that's when it formed, the Red Hat Society.
Man. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think about it. I was trying to do a little bit of research, when people don't know exactly what it is, and how to be part of it and things like that. And I think it's very interesting. First thing before we get into that, Sharon, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Alexandria, Virginia.
I can tell a little bit of the accent there. I hear that little bit of the little northern tone in the middle of that. And that's pretty cool.
I've been in Tazewell since 2013.
But you've held on to that little bit of pitch there. I got that. I've got a grandson my daughter lives in Ohio now. Okay. And every once in a while, my grandson comes out with that little bit of a Ohio accent, and I want to slap him. I said, boy, my daughter, she's held on to hers pretty good. She's pretty much, but and then I've got some of our family from up north in Michigan.
Okay.
And they've got that little proper tone about them. I'd done a lot of work in England, and I almost needed an interpreter while I was over there because they couldn't understand a word I was saying.
It's different.
Yeah.
I married my husband, who was from North Carolina, and when I first met my in-laws, they told me, Sharon, please slow down. And I didn't understand what they were saying to me. And obviously I talked fast.
Right.
And then I realized, not everybody is from the city like I was.
Right.
And then how I became part of Tazewell family, my mom and dad are from Tazewell.
Okay.
And they married up in Northern Virginia and raised us children. And when my husband became disabled, we moved back home. Mm-hmm. And I considered this home because every summer we came down here.
Yeah.
And it was home for us kids, and it became home for me and my family.
That is good. Connie, make sure all your cameras are working, if you will, too. But, I think of finding places that are home, okay?
Yes.
And, my issue, I've been in Tazewell for a long time, okay? But I'm from McDowell County.
Okay.
Okay? So you have to be from the county your whole life if you moved to anywhere.
Correct.
Because it's sort of down in your blood, and you have to use this. Funny how things like that, I think about it, and then when someone asks where you're from, you have to say, my wife's still from Jonesboro. Okay. She still talks about me from Jonesboro. That's where she's from, and Telford in Tennessee, so she still talks. That's where. So when they call, after you raise your hand, you always have to say where you're from at, and it always good. So when we talk about the Divas, and that's what I found. Okay. So how did it get started in Tazewell?
I joined a group that was already formed.
Okay.
And I was in that group for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, I guess, and I even become the vice queen of that group.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided to have my own. So to be honest, I don't really know exactly who started.
Right.
I think it was where the first group, and then it just, everybody around liked it.
Yeah.
So there was a group in Richlands and one in Lebanon, and that we have a regional. But now there's only 3 groups in Tazewell and one in Grundy that meets for the regional.
Okay.
The other 2, like Richlands and Lebanon, that I know of, a lot of them passed away and got,
Right.
older and decided they didn't want to do it anymore. So.
What is the focus of it? What do you?
It's
what
to
do you
have
focus
a
on?
good time,
Okay.
and
Yes.
that's what we do.
Okay.
We get together, we have dinner, we go to shows, we travel. We go, now this year we only have 2 conventions and 1 regional that we're going to.
Okay.
One is in Pipestem Convention, and then the other one is in Roanoke. And of course, Grundy, I think, is it Grundy that has the
Grundy
regional?
has it this year,
So we'll
correct.
be going to Grundy for the regional.
Okay.
And the difference in a regional and a convention is the convention, anybody can come from anywhere. And the lady that's doing the convention, I think there was like 7 different states that she had at Pipestem last year.
Okay.
But now the regionals, it's just from this area, this surrounding areas
Right.
that has the regionals.
Well, I share this a lot, and I harp on it a lot, and I get people that get tired of me saying it. But I mean, I think and I'm not talking about you guys getting older. I'm talking about me getting older. All right. As I get older, I found myself. I had some friends that have passed away, and cousins and friends and people have passed away, and my world becomes smaller. Okay, and as my world becomes smaller, I find this becomes when I see people that get depressed, I find a common thread, and I look for common threads, that their world becomes small, and they begin not to have friendships, and not have people in their life. And a few years ago, I began to look at my life, and I said, hold on just a second, because I was losing some friends. And then my father passed away, which we were close. We talked every day, and so I found my world getting smaller. And I went through a little spell there, and I wasn't depressed, but I was a little aggravated. You know what I mean? And I thought, and so I said, I need to do something about this. And I found the thing. I said, I need to make sure I'm making friends. Okay? Because when you add friendship to this thing, that when you find people that are happy, you find a common thread that they have friends, and not just one. And it's not just their 2 grandkids and their daughter that lives in Minnesota, but they have friends.
That's why she joined our club.
It really is. I became widowed 6 years ago, and surviving cancer as myself. And I met Betty through Sewing Circle, and she told me she was the Red Hatter queen of her chapter, and joined me and invited me to join her group. And when I did, I didn't realize how I was going through depression,
Right.
how I was going through loneliness, because I was an empty nester at the house also, so I was just by myself. And when I got to join the Red Hatters, it gave me a purpose. It gave me sisterhood.
Right.
It gave me the opportunity just to get out of bed and dress up. And
Right.
every woman really loves to dress up.
Right.
And deep down, it has just saved me. It has saved me. I get emotional. But if it wasn't for Betty and the Red Hatters,
Right.
I don't know where I would be today, really.
But see, that's so important too, Sharon. And so many people we miss that. Okay, now it's harder. And Connie and I were in a big argument before you guys came, talking about this. Okay, because she says it's so much easier for men. It's easier for men to make friends. She goes on and on. I think she just says that because she's a girl. But she says, but I said, but women, there is a little challenge there, because you tend, I think now, okay, I mean, I ain't writing no book on this, but they get, you become, especially if you are a widow,
Right.
okay, you sort of become isolated, and you look at things like that, but you have to actually make yourself, I think, you have to put the effort forth to go out and to make friends and to be friends. You know, I do some things that, in this quest that I had for friends, I started being I'm on several different board of directors that I volunteer. And even as far as what we're on with the Tazewell County Fair, and I'm meeting people like you. And I mean people that, and I'm pretty easy to work with. I feel like I am, but everybody that thinks they are. But I mean, I try to make friends and talk to people and be there. And when you do, your life becomes, it don't just drag out. Okay, you have this richness that you begin to gain from these other people. And when you think about this and what you're doing, I mean, I think it's tremendous, you know.
Because, see, we meet different people from different areas, too.
Right.
And then if they're having a convention, they'll invite us to their convention. And
Right.
so, like, down North Carolina, South Carolina, we've gone down
We
there.
went there in,
Yeah,
I think
for-
it was November.
So we meet people from all
Yeah.
over the place. And then, like I said, they invite us to their conventions or whatever. And
Right.
that's how we meet different people, too.
Yes.
Well, and there's no big wild parties. Y'all not like those.
Oh,
group-
no.
Who's the group of the guys that have the wear the hats that stick up? They got the tassel. Gosh, I can't remember what the not the Legion. What are they? The guys that raise the money all the time. Not Kiwanis, are they? But anyway, they got the tassel. They have the big parties. They're known
The
for.
ones that do
Club?
St. Jude.
I forget them.
I do too.
But
I
anyway,
can't
y'all
think
don't
of-
have big wild parties.
No,
and-
we do not.
We have parties.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Because, like, I'll have them down to my house for
Right.
different things.
Uh-huh.
Or we'll go, like, bowling. And
Right.
to us, it's a party.
It really is.
We have a
because
good
to
time.
see us women go.
Yeah. We just
It's-
laugh and have a good
It's
time.
hilarious.
I can
It really
imagine.
is.
I mean, I know how. You know, my trouble with bowling is I'm really good the first game, but I'm not very competitive. And I just
Yeah.
go straight downhill after that because I think, just throw that
Yeah,
ball down through
I'm
there.
like that. I was
First-
on different
Yes.
leagues,
Yeah.
and I just wasn't competitive.
The first little bit, I'm really right in there. It's sort of like putt-putt. I'm in it. And then as I get a few holes in, I want to hit people with my putter, and and you're laughing because you're pinching somebody close to you. You don't think about it. I think it's. So when we think about how important this group like this is to the community, I mean, what do you think the importance is of Red Hat Divas?
We don't do, well, let me rephrase this. We're out there to have a good time for ourselves. We don't do things for the community or anything like that.
Right.
It's for the ladies that wants to meet other ladies and just get out and enjoy themselves. That's what we do.
And we're also, like I explained earlier, we are a sisterhood. We are from all walks of life. And when we get together, we're one. And we just have fun, just being ourselves.
Right.
And we get to, a lot of times at the conventions, there's outfits. Like we've had Mardi Gras. We've had Wizard of Oz.
It's always a
We've
theme.
had the Wild West. You name it, we've got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it is all in fun
Right.
and getting together and where you're not alone. And that's the biggest thing. And we encourage people to get out there. And if I would have known it sooner, I know you had to be, I thought 55, but actually you'll become a Red Hatter when you're 50. But we enjoy younger people joining us too, and they are Pink Hatters.
Right.
And we have a lady in our group who raised her granddaughter. And since she was a little girl, she was a Pink Hatter and joined our group.
Yeah.
And now she's in college, and when she's home, she'll get to join us.
Yeah.
And it's just wonderful to see that these young people having a good time along us older ones.
Yeah. And most of the time, and I know if this is true, it's hard to admit, but most time when you get a few women together, you can have trouble. Okay, I don't know about you all.
Competition.
But now I have brought in, Connie's been with me for years. She's been with me 20, 30 years working for me. And I've had my wife 43 years. So, but whenever, and they do pretty good, but 2 or 3 times when I've hired another girl and brought them in, it's like those other chickens turn on them at one time. It's a little hard, and I know anytime you deal with people, okay, you always have little things you
Yeah.
have to work with. And it's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It don't get nobody killed.
Yeah.
But you always have to deal with personalities.
Well, when we have that, we always work it out some way. We try to please everybody. And you can't always do that, but we try.
We give it our best.
Give it our
Really do.
best.
That's
We
it.
really do.
That's it. And I think that's important. You know, you got to be a little tolerant, don't you? You know what I
do.
mean? You have to be
You do.
tolerant
You
because
absolutely
people
do.
are just people. Okay? And I found in the past people will change their mind. There's people
Oh,
that
yeah.
think you're a rascal that might change their mind later on, you know?
Once they get to know you.
They get to know you. And I shared this. I don't know, and you don't have to admit these things, okay, because I'm trying to be really good to y'all. But have you ever seen somebody you just didn't really care much about and you didn't know why? Okay, you don't have to answer that. But you seen them and you thought, you know, but then you seen somebody else, and I studied this a lot. You see somebody else and you think, well, that's the sweetest thing. You know, they're so nice, you look at them and you don't know why. And the difference, I think, is in their smile. If somebody's smiling, you naturally think they're okay. They might have their hand in your wallet. You don't even know it. But they can be smiling, and you think, that's the sweetest thing.
Right.
But there's some people that have a natural frown. They're born with a natural frown, and it's a little bit more of a battle for them. But you see people, sometimes you think, they're just so nice. They're just so nice. And sometimes they're a little bit not as nice as what you think, but
Right.
the smile makes a difference.
It does.
Does to me.
Yeah. And you'll clash with certain people too. And then other people you get along just fine.
Just roll with. Yeah, and I don't know. I think Jesus had the same issue. Okay, he had to deal with people as you go along, and it's just some people want to be happy, and some people want to get along. And I think what happens is we all have our individual battles,
Oh yeah.
and we can begin to express them, you know, on other people. I mean, I think so. I mean, I know I do every once in a while. If I stump my toe or don't feel good, you know, I apologize a lot, you know. And I've had a cold for a couple of days, and I apologized a lot to my wife. I said, now, I apologize if I sound a little grouchy. You know, I'm taking an Allegra and a Sudafed and, you know, 2 or 3 other things, and I've just drunk 2 Alka-Seltzers, okay? So I don't remember my name. But, you know, we deal with these personalities. Like when you're talking about traveling, what kind of traveling are we talking about that you guys do?
Oh, we go different places. Like we're planning a trip to Pigeon Forge,
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Lancaster. We've gone a lot of different places.
Yeah.
And we just get together and decide
We went
where
to
do you
the
want to
beach
go.
in September. We went to the Outer Banks.
Outer Banks, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we think of activities, and we get together with our group, and some of the women choose not to go with us. It's their priority, and we do not force it. We let everybody decide what they want to do, but we, you know, just have fun, and our sisters, even if they don't go, they're still our sisters, and we come back and we show pictures and talk about what we've done, and
Right.
and they're happy for us.
Yeah.
And so I just can't explain it. It's just so much fun.
I think if I was right in line with what I've said, though, we got to make those friends. It makes your life so much richer. But it takes an effort, doesn't it?
And that's what we do. We try to encourage people, ladies, to go with us and have a good time.
Yeah.
And just like when we go to the conventions, we meet other people.
We
and
do.
We encourage them
Yeah.
also. You know, not just our group, but
Right.
other ladies too.
Yeah. Do you ever get to fighting over a bus driver if he's real handsome?
No. No.
That was a test. I was
No,
giving you a test,
no.
okay? All right.
we don't do
I was,
that.
I was making sure that there was no kind of fights that broke out, all right?
No.
No, we don't do that. We don't do any drinking or cussing
Okay,
or
all right.
smoking or
See,
drugs
there we
we're
wanted
not
to,
into
I
that.
wanted to clear all that up
Yeah.
right off the bat.
We don't do any of that.
Okay, all right. Now, see, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
That keeps
Yes.
them too much trouble.
Yeah, we've got one lady we're working on. But
Yeah.
the other ones they're Christians. But there's always somebody out there to work on,
Right,
isn't it?
you know,
To encourage them.
I've been partners in a business that I was in, and they cuss a lot. And I'm not big on cussing, okay? It just aggravates me, all right? But they know I didn't, and they were always apologizing. You know, they would apologize. They'd cuss a big streak and say, John, I'm sorry. I mean,
They were in the habit.
You know what I mean? But it becomes part of the vocabulary, and which it just I don't like it. Okay, but because I don't think it looks good.
No,
okay, it just doesn't look good. And some people think they have to do it to get their point across, but I don't agree with that.
No, well, we don't do that.
Okay, well, see, we're clearing up a lot of things here, okay? All right, I wanted to get down to the bare secret stuff in this thing about no fights or anything. How do you become part of this Red Hat Divas?
Well, since I'm the queen, they come to me, and then most of the time I discuss it with some of the other ones in the group to see if they're okay, see if they know anything about them, and because we don't want anybody in that's going to be a problem,
Right.
You know, because we're out there to have fun, and that's what it's all about. So, you know, we'll usually let just anybody in, but you've got to have a few.
Well,
a few things
let me say some things that you don't have to say. Okay, that makes, because I can be a little bit other way. I mean, you don't want some ding dong coming in there causing trouble in the midst of everything. Okay,
we don't want
and that
trouble.
doesn't mean now. And I've said this: Jesus loves them and they're His children, but that don't mean I have to take them home with me.
Exactly.
All right, and we know that. I had a guy one time, I explained some things to me, and I was sharing some things that the Lord had done for me, and he said, well, I don't see why the Lord hasn't done the same thing for me that He's done for you. I said, well, if Appalachian Power can't trust you, why do you think the Lord would trust you? I said, you know, it doesn't mean He don't love you.
Right.
You can love your children if you won't give them the keys to your house.
Exactly.
And the same thing when we're working with people, we need to have a little bit of a, now you can't even get a check-ins account unless you did a credit report. You know what I mean? Used to, you people walk in there with a driver's license, and that's how they got all these scams going on. But you know, you do have to be careful, and you do want to talk to people, and you do want to look at some things. And I think the more we do that in life, you know, when we have ministers that come on here. You know, we try to ask some people about them when they come in and want to come on and do a TV program. We ask some people about them. We'll know who their pastor is, and still lenient because I know people have things that happen in their life, but still yet you shouldn't be shipwreck to shipwreck to shipwreck.
Right.
Somewhere it needs to land.
Well, I stress wear a red hat and a purple outfit. It could be a dress, whatever.
Right.
That I do stress. And then the month of your birthday, you do the opposite. You wear a purple hat and a red dress.
Well.
So I stress we are the Red Hat Society.
Right.
So wear a red hat.
Good.
So that's really the only main thing.
That's not a lot to ask.
No. But we had one lady, I don't think she wanted to do that, so she sort of stepped out, which, you know, I'm sorry that she did that, but, you know, we're the Red Hat Society. You wear a red hat.
Yeah.
And we're very flexible. If we go out to eat, as long as you wear a purple shirt, you can wear your jeans, you can wear, you know, your casual pants. You know, we just ask, you know, at least a purple top and a red hat. And our jury is costume jury, and we love to look for it. There's so many things out there. And the flashier, the better. And it's just, like I said, makes you feel good. It really
I think
does.
it's so cool. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just think it's, and I really weren't familiar. When I first seen your picture on Facebook with the hat on, I thought, well, that Betty's a dresser. You know, I mean, I thought, well, she really likes to dress up. I didn't know much about it. And then I got to researching a little bit, and I thought, this is really neat.
Yeah.
Because it encourages that fellowship and encourages that camaraderie.
It really does.
Okay, and then I didn't know, like, the traveling. Man, that's great to do, to travel and do. Have you ever been to the Ark?
I have. The group hasn't gone, but yeah, I've been there.
Is it pretty
I
cool?
like traveling. I really liked it.
I'd like to go
It's really
see it.
interesting.
I'd like to go see it sometime.
Didn't get to see the museum because I went with a church group in Martinsville, and the pastor's mother was sick, so we had to leave early, and we didn't get to go to the museum. But the Ark I really enjoyed that.
You know, I studied a lot about the Ark, and I think Noah was a real man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he wasn't like me or these other men I know. 120 years, a little bit of instruction. Can you imagine to take those big cedar trees, to get those to the point where he had to cut them? This is some kind
God
of
told him how to
sweat.
do it.
I mean,
but
It
he
took
told
him
him
years, and they did it.
Yeah.
And like I said, in December, Betty and I took a bus trip to Lancaster, and we did see Noah. the production of Noah, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Because I had just been to the Ark the month before.
Right.
So that was really interesting to see.
Yeah.
It sort of went together, really. Yeah. Have you been to the Ark?
No, I want to go.
Oh, you
I've got
definitely
I've
need
got
to
it on my
go.
list. I've got a list for the summer, and I want to go there. I've got it, and I'm going to Camden Park. Have you ever heard of it?
I have.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Not many people have heard of Camden Park. Up toward Beckley, it's up that way.
Yes.
It is a dangerous amusement park, but I went there when I was a boy, and I want to go. It's the only time I ever remember my dad and mom taking me someplace like that. That was remotely amusement park, because we didn't go to amusement parks. Just
You didn't go to Lakeside?
Well, yeah.
Everybody went to Lakeside.
Yeah, I was a little older then. But Camden Park it's still action, and I want to go. I watched a lot of stuff on YouTube about it, but I got it on my list because I got me a list made out for the summer. Because we travel in the camper, we go.
Oh, okay.
And we stay out about 2 weeks, and we come home a week or so, and we stay out 2 weeks. But I'm gonna take all my kids and my grandkids and make them suffer. I'm gonna take them.
Oh, my.
And take them in there and make them come right in and get on those dangerous rides. And
But it's family time, and
Yeah.
they're going to enjoy it just as much as you say they're suffering.
Yeah.
And they're going to look back and say, "I'm glad he made us do
Yeah.
this."
okay, I'll tell them you said
You
that.
tell them.
Okay.
Yes.
when they got their hands on their hips, say, "Why am I here?"
Exactly. Exactly.
But I don't know. I try to do some things like that along. But I think memories. You don't know memories are memories when you're making them. You think it's a normal day, and that's what's so strange about stuff. You don't know it's a memory. You think I'm just living the day, but it's important. I think it's so important.
Oh, I think so, too. Family and friends is
Yes.
important.
Yeah, it really
Both of
is.
them.
Really is. And like I showed you, I've made so many friends, and I've had to do some things to make these friends. It takes some work to do that. It don't just happen. And the ones you get so easy sometimes are not near as good as you think they are.
Yeah.
They're a little, probably should have cast them back. Wait and got another one.
Yeah.
I did say this, and I don't want you to think any less of me, but if I did win the lottery, I would hire me some friends. I want some I could pay by the hour. You know what I mean? So they knew what to expect out of me. And I want them to sit on the porch in the mornings and wait on me to come out and say, "Hey, John, what are we doing today? Whatever you're doing, I'm along with it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I have them on the payroll, Betty, where we all know where we stand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want them to laugh at things I say.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things there. If I won the lottery, what would you do if you won the lottery tomorrow?
I would share it with my family to start off.
Betty.
I know.
I swear
but I would do more traveling because I love to travel. I mean,
And I would be right
cruise.
beside her.
Yeah, I love cruise. I've been
Okay.
different places with a cruise.
All right.
And I would do more of that, just more traveling.
I know
See the
people.
world.
I've seen people now that live on cruise boats.
Oh, it's cheaper.
They live right on the
Yeah,
cruise boat.
it would be
So
cheaper.
you would first thing share it with your family.
Well,
I mean, not a lot. You
not
don't
a
want to mess
lot,
them
no.
because you mess them up, won't you?
You
If
mess them up.
You give your family a whole bunch of money, you have ruined them.
Yeah, that's true.
You're best to buy them a
absolutely right.
shovel, a rake, give them some seed, buy them a little tractor, give them some stuff they can work with.
Right.
And stuff like that. But if I did win the lottery, and I know we're off the Red Hat topic just a hair bit, I would get me a billboard on 460 with my picture say I won.
No, I would not, because you'd have
Because
more
you're
friends.
everybody-
That's what I want,
No
Betty.
more
You don't
no. I don't want people beating my door down,
Oh, I'm telling you
saying
what.
that they're my cousin when they're not, and
But-
needing money.
See, this we can be friends and disagree, but
It's
I
true.
would love that. I
But
want
that's-
people,
Love
I want people to come to
beating
the
your door
house
down?
saying, "Give me $20, John. You know I love you."
But that's when you need to form your own society. You need to form a society for you and invite people in. And
Like a I Heart John Dash society.
Yeah.
never know. Yes, it's possible.
That's the way I fixed my. I used to lose my work gloves all the time. People steal them. Okay, but I wrote on them, "I love John Dash." Nobody take them anymore. You got to think. You got to think ahead. So I mean, Betty, we know would take. I believe I got you off the family just a little bit. You give them just a little bit of stuff. We
Yeah,
don't want to get carried
little
away.
bit.
This is one of the things too that I think people have the biggest trouble over is free money. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you, tell me what you, I think, like, I've seen more people get mad over money somebody's inherited than they have money they've worked for. Does that make sense?
When you work for it, you appreciate it more.
Right.
When it's given to you, you expect it. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
It's just like food, these food banks and things like that, or checks that come in the mail every month.
Yeah.
It's expected.
Yeah.
But if you had to work for something all your life, then you appreciate it more.
I've been blessed not to be overly financially blessed. And this is what has happened in my life. I've got some friends of mine that are wealthy that are dumb as a bowling ball. Okay, really good people, but don't know how to do anything. I've had to learn, and I thank the Lord for it so much that I've had to learn. And I would have paid someone if I could, but I couldn't, so we had to do what we had to do. And I think, though, that's so important in life.
And what you have in your life, you've had to work for it.
Right.
It wasn't given to you, was it?
It's special to you because you've earned it.
Yeah.
That's exactly. It makes you appreciate things. You look at life different. You look at things different.
You do.
And I don't know. I've watched people. Several years ago, I gave my kids everything I had, property, houses. The house I live in, I gave to my son and my daughter-in-law. Gave them that. Told them to keep the grass cut. I said, your mom and I are not going to leave you any money. We're not going to leave you anything. We're going to spend everything we got. Okay? We're going to travel. We're going to enjoy ourselves. I said, we're going to do it.
That's what I tell mine. When I travel, I'm spending your inheritance.
I think, but see, and I told them all, I gave them everything I had. And I said, here it is. And I said, and the other day, the only thing we do own is our camper. I got a new camper. I keep because and Janice always says, she said the kids can worry about paying for that. If we die, we'll let them worry about that. And then the other day she was looking at a new one and she said, we could get it. It don't matter. The kids will have to pay for it anyway. We won't have to pay for it.
Oh God!
But I just think of the inheritance that people seem like they get so upset. And relationships that break up.
That's it.
And Lord, I was at a funeral one time, and half the family was at the house of the guys in the casket stealing his stuff, getting his stuff out of the house while the other people's at the funeral. And I'm thinking, people over that free stuff, they get so.
Unfortunately,
it's heartbreaking, isn't it?
Sad.
That's what my family's going through right now. My mom passed away. She passed away March 3rd last year, and she owns several acreage up on Mud Fork and 2 houses, and that's what we're going through right now.
It's hard.
There's 8 of us and 1 sibling, only 1 out of 8, who the rest of us are just trying to sell it and enjoy our lives.
Right.
But it's become more of a hassle.
Well, my father passed away 3 years ago, okay? And he's really big on buying property, okay? Owned all kinds of property and buildings and things like that. When he passed away, not a deed was right, okay? He had one deed in part of his name, one deed him and mom's name. It was just, and I worked for weeks and weeks and weeks with attorneys getting all the deeds straightened up first. Then I told my mom, you don't need this. She didn't need all this building, all this city. I sold a post office. We didn't need all this. And I said, I want you to spend your money and in whatever you need, and you take time and you spend your money and enjoy that money and do those things. And it just made such a difference. And I said, we don't need the headache of it. I don't need it. I've got more blue jeans than I can wear. And I said, I don't need this stuff, and you don't need this stuff. And that brought such a relief, in those areas. Now, she will not do what you all do as far as leaving the house. She's not real big on leaving the house. My mom is not. She likes it once I get her out. But getting her to go and she's healthier than I am. But getting her to go out and do those things. And I talk to her every once in a while. But I took her to Norway with me, and we've been places, but she says, I've done those things, and I don't want to do that, and that's where she's happy, and I don't fight her. She lives in the same house. She's been in the same house all of her life, probably, but 6 months or a year of her whole life, she lived in the same house.
Yeah, she's got used to that.
Yeah, I was going to bring her to Tazewell when Dad passed away, but I could see that didn't go over because she's got so many people that take care of her, watch out for her. They go to the post office for her, the store for her.
That's where her friends are.
That's exactly, and I didn't want to mess that up.
Right.
I don't
And
want to
I
mess
find
it up.
that if you do, she'll go downhill.
Yeah.
If someone is happy, leave them be.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the best thing you can do.
Yeah. And it tickles me. She sends me a grocery store list, okay? 4 items. 4 items. Well, I had to have a bigger buggy yesterday because I know she don't just want 4 items. Just because she says bread, milk, and eggs and butter don't mean that's all she wants. She wants Cinnamon Toast Crunch. She wants this. She wants these dinners. She wants this. So I go through and load all that up and then get that and take. And she's just as happy when she gets them. But I don't know. But I just admire. I think what you're doing is so cool. It really is cool. It's cool. And I've enjoyed. When we're being on the fair board with you, I think it's really cool. I enjoy that, and I like talking.
I do too.
I think I think some people get too serious on some things. I've got some groups that I work with, and they get too serious about things that don't really mean a lot to the world.
We get serious sometimes, but as a rule, we just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
Also, I've been volunteering for the last 4 years at the county fair. Also,
Yeah, good.
So
That's real good. Yeah. I don't know. I think we should enjoy each other.
Oh, I do too.
Enjoy the friendship and the fellowship
Yes.
with each other, and take time and do it. And while
Life's
we're
too
here,
short.
Oh man.
Yeah, you got to enjoy life while you can.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell Buck all the time, my husband. I'm going to travel while I can because it's going to come a time that I'm not going to be able to travel. I'm not going to be the health.
Correct.
I'm in good health now, so I'm going to go as much as I can go.
and my children
enjoy life.
encourage it. My children, I have one that lives in Richmond. I have one that lives down here, and both of them, they tell me they're excited for me, and they can't wait to hear about my adventures.
Right.
And knowing that they're happy for me makes me even happier.
Yeah. I think it's, I don't, and you touched on something too. We share that a lot. My wife and I do about, I want to do things while I feel like it, because I'm not crazy enough to think I'm going to constantly keep feeling better all the time. But I mean, I like to do things while we feel like it. And we laugh about things. I'll tell you, this is what happened to me. And I tell my kids all the time, I say, your mom and I are getting a little older. Okay, and we laugh about a lot of things that we forget, and a lot of things that we do. But recently, my wife makes these sandwiches that are so good because she makes everything with such love. When we drive down the road in the camper, she'll make me a sandwich in the back and bring it up to me while I'm driving, and give me another 5-hour drink and 2 diet pills and make me keep driving. Okay, but anyway, at home lately, for the last week or so, she says, "Do you want a sandwich, honey?" And I say, "Yes." I'm in the recliner, and I say, "I like ham and lettuce, ham and cheese and mustard and mayonnaise, or what I want." And she brings me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay, so it's been going on for a while. She keeps bringing me these. I watch her. I say, "I like to have tuna," or "I like to have chicken salad." She says, "Okay." And she goes back and puts the bread in the toaster and brings me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I told her the other day, she said, we need to get some more jelly. I said, yeah, I think we do. And the other day I was laughing. She brought me my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I said, I started laughing. She said, "What are you laughing at?" I said, "For a week you've been bringing me peanut butter and jelly." And I've been asking, and she just started dying laughing. Okay, and somehow she got into body motion of fixing that peanut butter and jelly, and that's what she bring me. So the other day I come into the kitchen, and I reached in the cabinet and got the peanut butter, and I moved it. I said, "I'm going to move this over here." And she caught me moving it. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to help you just a little bit here." But we just laugh. We just go on with stuff. And like you said, you got to enjoy your life.
Oh, you do.
Enjoy
You do.
people.
I agree.
Yeah.
Enjoy each other. And friends out there, enjoy them. And don't be so sensitive over everything.
Yeah, that's the problem too sometimes. You're too sensitive.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need to chill out, relax, have a good time.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer. I think that I try to think of some things that I can ask. Oh, what is the difference between, you said was a pink hatter?
Yes.
It's under
A pink
50.
hat is, under 50.
Under 50.
They were pink and lavender.
That is cool too.
Yes.
That's a pink hatter. That is really.
And then when they turn 50, the queen of the group will take off their
Right.
pink hat and present them with their very first red hat.
That is cool. That is listen, when you think about this, Sharon, what are some memories that really stand out as far as being in this and being part of it with the Red Hatters? What are some memories that just really have been good for you that stand out?
The conventions, the dressing up, and just getting together. For instance, a couple years ago, we were going to go on a diet, all of us in our group. And every Sunday after church, we were going to meet at Betty's house. And we would get there to weigh in. And Betty would serve coffee. And every Sunday, there was pastries. And Betty would say, "Oh, you've got to eat them up." And we're looking at her like, "Come on, Betty." And she was, and we would talk about driving there. We were like, what is he going to try to offer us today? But it's things like that, like just getting together and trying to lose weight while our queen is trying to serve us desserts. Yeah.
Sabotaging you.
Yes, she
I'm
was.
a Southern lady.
Yeah, I can
like
see
to
that.
feed
She was a
people.
hostess with the mostest.
Betty,
Yes.
when you think about memories, what are some things that stand out in your mind?
Oh my gracious, there's so many memories that I've got, and I have pictures that where I've gone places with the Red Hatters.
Yes.
I've gone to different conventions and met different people, and I couldn't begin to tell you the memories that I do have
Right.
because I've been in it since the early 2005 maybe or 4 or something like
Right.
that. I don't know exactly because I started this group 2012.
Right.
Yes.
So not only memories with this group, but memories with my other group that I was in, because she liked to travel too. That queen liked to travel, so she would plan different places to go and things like that. So I have a lot of good memories of, and I've met some people that you sort of clash, and that's the type that you stay away from. But I've met more good people than bad.
Right. I think that I meet a lot of people, and I meet a lot of good people.
Yeah.
I've got some people that I hear them always talking about how everything's so bad and awful, but I'm thinking I meet so many nice people.
Oh yeah, more nice than bad.
And then sometimes if they are bad, I just don't remember them. I just go about my business.
You just go on.
And I just go on and go on without it and let them handle their stuff, and I'll handle my stuff and stay out of the way.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah. I think so too.
But to think about the memories that you've made with each other and all this, I think that's so great. Well, if someone in the back of their mind, someone who's wants to get in touch with you.
They can.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. They can call me or
That's good.
send me a message me, and I'll meet with you and discuss,
Right.
what I require, really.
Yeah.
And
I think you got to have rules.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. And we don't have that many.
Right.
It's just that we want everybody to get along. We don't want somebody in the group that clashes or whatever.
And like you said, just the red hat and the purple, at least the purple shirt or a purple dress, and just have fun.
Yeah.
And if you live in a different area, look up the Red Hatters. There's chapters in every city, every state.
Right.
Yeah.
And
From
And they're out there.
2000, let's see, 2020, there was 35,000
chapters.
chapters.
Gee whiz.
That was in 2020.
Yes.
So, and usually a chapter will stay together. Some might pass away or move or whatever, but they'll add more to it. Very seldom. Well, now I need to rephrase it. There are some that they finally just give up. Don't want to travel no more for whatever reason, health, age, or whatever. But usually you continue going on.
Well, now can you get too many people in that group where you got to split off, or does it just naturally do that?
It naturally does
That's
that
what I was thinking.
sometimes.
Naturally split off.
It's easier to get together and go to restaurants if you got a smaller group.
Right.
Because if you get more than 20, say for instance,
yeah.
it's hard to go to some restaurants and, they can't accommodate you.
Yeah, that'd be a lot. And then, to be personally involved with people too, you get getting too big a group.
Too many,
it ends up being too much.
There's 13 in our group, but there's like 5 maybe that only goes to conventions and trips and stuff.
Right.
They're out of town, or there's one mother and daughter that sort of backed off because they have family that's in sports.
Right.
They want to stay in the group, but they're not going to the meetings and things right now.
Yeah. I've always thought if I pastored for 20 years, but I've always thought if I pastored again, I wouldn't want to have over 25 people in the church.
Really?
I thought that'd be enough. About 25 people, only have 25 seats, 25 people, because you get too big sometimes, and
becomes a business sometimes.
Yeah, just because it has to.
Yeah.
When you the finances, when you get done with it, if you could just carry your Bible and preach, how sweet would that be?
Yeah.
But you got to manage the finances. You got to manage everything else. You got to, I'm thinking, my kids and my wife cleaned the church, and we, everything we had to do is all, you're managing a business. But if you had about 25 people, okay, you could change a lot of things in the world. Okay,
never looked at it like that.
If you had about 25 people, I said this, and I was a little bit, I pastored for a while. I pastored down on Shake Rag.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
oh, okay.
pastored that the old church down there.
Yeah.
That's when I pastored in.
Oh, okay.
And when I was down there, when it was rough, I first started when it wasn't like it was now, sort of civilized. It was a little rougher then in those days. But when I bought that church and down there, and it was, but it's just different thinking about people and how you take a few people and you can really do some things and be good to them and be there for them. But it gets so big. And I have a lot of pastors that I really have compassion in my heart for, because they spend a lot of the time doing weddings and funerals. And they stay so busy, and that it's hard. That's really hard for them to do a good job, because and then you got to be spiritual in the end, and try to have the mind of the Lord so you can feed the flock.
Right.
And I told him one time, I used to do this too, and it was I used to tell people, I said, I think you should just join the church for 1 year. I had a document I had to fill out. This is all right, Betty. I'm just telling you. So I said, you're getting to know me a little bit. So I said, join for a year. And then if you want to leave, you can leave and go to another church. We don't have to fall out and be mad at each other. But you take a year, tell me you'll pay your tithes, you'll attend. If you can't attend, then tell me, John, I'm going fishing today. I don't want to come to Sunday school, so I don't worry about you. And so I go fishing. But I said, commit for a year. And then after that year, if you feel like you want to do something else, it's okay. And and I said, because what happens is so many times it's hard for people, because if they do decide they want to go to church somewhere else, they don't want to have to find fault in where they're at,
right,
but they just feel like they need to make a change in their life.
Right.
And that's important. It's important you know the seasons and the chapters of your life.
That's true.
Yeah. I also said I think you ought to make new members climb through the window for the first 30 days to make sure they really want to come.
That's a little drastic.
Yeah, see, it is.
Yeah.
But I am a little drastic, okay? Find out if they really are serious about it, or they're just visiting. You go to church with Phyllis. Do you know who Phyllis is?
Phyllis.
Goes to the Y. I believe Phyllis goes to the Y out here. She Karen's her daughter. Karen Hart is her daughter.
Yeah,
Phyllis. I like Phyllis.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I laugh. Me and her laugh every morning. We just carry on. I got a clipboard up there. I write her name down when she's late. And put an X beside of it. And I said, you're a little late for exercise today, Phyllis. I said, if you don't take this serious, you're never going to get in shape.
So you go to the Y every
Yeah,
morning?
I try to go every morning.
You and your grandson?
Yeah. He's been out for a week or so with strep throat. He's down to 98 pounds. He's wasted away to nothing.
Oh, my.
Because he didn't eat, but he's back eating now. And but we try to go.
Is he homeschooled?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And we try to go, and he works for me and does production and stuff like that too.
Oh, well, that's good.
And it's a lot of help. My kids had all. Well, we homeschooled our children, most of them, for the big majority of their life. We homeschooled them, or they went here in this building. And then they worked for me half a day and went to school half a day.
Oh, okay.
All of them worked, and my youngest boy stayed on the bulldozer from the time he could reach the pedals. And
that's good.
they all worked, and I got my youngest daughter at a live TV program 3 days a week when she was 12.
Oh,
and
my gracious.
She was on TV, and we've been at this a long time.
Yeah.
They all sort of raised in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is they were all raised at different phases of our life.
Mm-hmm.
We had restaurants. My wife and I had 8 restaurants.
Oh, my gracious.
And we had John Boy's, it was called, here in Tazewell.
You own that?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Had John Boy's, and we done all that. And so I've got a few of my kids were raised in the restaurant business. Then some of them raised in the middle, and some raised in the ministry. I took all my kids overseas with me and took them to Norway and the Bahamas, and I've took them all over the place.
How many children do you
Got
have?
3.
3, okay.
Yeah, and I just hauled them with me, took them, loaded them up, and hauled them all over the place. But they're all raised in different phases, and some of them can't remember the other phase. Mm-hmm. Like some of them don't remember us ever having restaurants, and it's because they were born as we went into the ministry. Mm-hmm. And it's just I think chapters, when you look at people in their life here, like what you're talking about here, to be able to see something like this and know they can be part of something, and make that effort to be part of it, and say I want to get in and be part, and like you said earlier, there's always rules.
Oh, yeah.
You got to follow those rules.
Well, that's with any group that you're with.
Yeah.
Most of the time, there are rules.
Yeah.
And I don't have that many rules.
Yeah.
Or a red hat and a purple dress.
Yes, that's the only 2 rules that you do have.
You don't get any tattoos or anything like that?
No, I
don't have to?
No.
That'd be pretty cool if you did.
Yeah, but I don't.
No.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay. See,
No, we might decorate a jacket.
Bling it out?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
I love that kind of
We
stuff.
have done that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be beautiful.
But that's the basic of what
Yeah.
we would have done or have done. Yeah.
You used to work out at the Y, didn't you? You told me you quit?
No,
I thought you
I
told me
just
you
went
did.
there. I didn't work there.
Oh,
I used
that's
to go
what I
there.
meant. You went there.
I went there, yeah.
You got mad and quit.
Well, I didn't get mad. I got lazy. I paid for a year and never went out there. I didn't have time.
I
It's
know.
like you don't know what all I'm into.
Right. Well, it's best not to tell me
She
on
has
air.
a very busy,
Okay.
she has a
I
very
have a busy
calendar.
schedule.
Yeah.
I have to
That's
plan
good.
ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Just like we're planning the trip to Pigeon Forge.
Yes.
I had to get my calendar out and see when I could go.
We got a big calendar on the wall, and I've got a home office too. We got one of those 1-year calendars, and we have to write on it. And Janice, she writes on everything and writes it in.
That's what I do.
And then before we take that one down for the new calendar, we always go in and make sure we got these dates that we know are set dates that we
Right.
follow.
Yeah.
And like I leave tomorrow, I've got a grandson. One of my grandsons is playing in a state tournament in basketball. So we'll drive to Ohio to watch him, 6 hours to watch him play. And then we have to schedule all those things out. And then we got to babysit our dog for one in a week or two. And then you have all these things you got to, but if you don't schedule it and look at it, if not careful, you find yourself doing nothing.
Overlap too.
Yeah,
I've done that before.
yeah.
That's why I have to get my little calendar out and look and see what's going on before I can plan anything.
Yeah.
Even with Buck, my husband,
Right.
I have to look at the calendar to see if I can do this or not. And then we'll have to work around it somehow.
Yes.
And if I'm not careful, the kids will have us so busy. I have to look and say, hold on just a second. Janice and I'll get to talking. And I said, I just don't schedule. And then we try, I don't know, other people don't have this problem. We try to schedule my doctor's appointments and things like that in 1 week so I don't tie up so much
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially if you say, for instance, make an appointment on a Wednesday,
Right.
and you want to go on a trip.
Right.
Well, that's hard to do now, isn't
Yep,
it?
you're messed up.
You're messed up.
right in the middle
Yeah.
of it, you know. And we free wheel a lot, you know. We get in the camper, and we've been at the house before, and my kids eat with me a couple times a week. They come to the house and eat, and my house is 850 square feet, but my porch is almost as big as my house.
Oh my!
And I've had 20, 25 for breakfast before. But we come, everybody comes in, and we have our Christmas there in my house. We push the furniture back against the wall, set them white tables up in the living room, and have ourselves a time. But you know, we try to do all those things and take time and do it. But we've been sitting there before, Janice and I have, and said, well, you know, it'd be about 7, 8 o'clock at night, and the kids finally leave. And I said, let's just go to Myrtle Beach. And we put 50 gallons of water in the camper and pull out. And by 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, we're sitting down at the beach.
Oh my!
And it just
That's good that you can
I
do that.
enjoy that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We enjoy that, and we go just as easy without being a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And we both are blessed too. We're pretty easy to work with, you know. And we go to Destin, Florida a lot, and that beautiful white sand down
Oh
there.
yeah, I've heard about that
Yeah.
trip that you make down there.
It's beautiful.
He parks in
Park
Cracker
at Cracker Barrel parking lot for free. I got a state park pass for the Florida State Park Pass. I get out in that beautiful white sand, just in that emerald water, and come back and sleep in the parking lot, and I just as happy as can be. I just I do a lot of my own cooking. I like to cook, and so I do the.
I like to cook at times. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I never did cook until COVID.
Really?
I had restaurants, but I didn't do the cooking.
Yeah.
But I got to watching. There was a guy on YouTube, and I've shared this before. He was I call him Drunk Steve. He was on there, and he had a beer fund, and people would send him money for beer, and then he would camp out and cook places. You know, he'd throw an old burner up there, and he'd put potatoes in it and soup and stuff. And I said, I believe I can do that. So I got to cooking, and I do all the cooking at the house now like that. And I've done 40 cooking programs, TV programs.
Really?
And yeah, I've got a whole website called Cooking with John.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like to cook. I like making casseroles, and I love crock pot and Instapot and
Yes.
and you know, I just I don't know. I like doing it.
Yeah, I like trying new recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, try different things.
We try to share too. Like if
Yeah.
we see something, we'll get together and try it.
That's cool if you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can share those ideas
Yes.
and stuff like that. But I don't know. I really appreciate y'all sharing a lot of this. This is just really, it's really cool.
Well, thank you for asking us.
Because people don't know. You know, then people maybe some people that do. I've talked to several people. Said, yeah. I said, nobody tells me about this.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Well, a lot of times when we go to restaurants and things, people come up to us and they'll say, "Oh, you're in the Red Hat Society,"
Oh, they like our
or
hat.
they'll say, "What is this society? What is
Yes.
this group?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
We went out, last week, I think it was, or it was last week, we went to Applebee's in
Oh, yeah.
Bluefield.
Right.
And we walked in, and we had a lady ask me, you know, she's like, "I love your hat." And I told her, I said, "Well, we have, you know, you can come and join us one evening." She's like, "No, I just love your hats." You know, so we do get a lot of questions about our hats.
A lot of attention. Well, you go dressed like this, you
Well,
gonna
Yes.
get
I
attention.
can
Or when
see.
we go to events and we're dressed up,
Yes,
yes,
it's
we
pretty
have to
cool.
stop at the
Yeah.
store or the gas station,
Yeah.
and we go in
I
and
could see.
whatever we're wearing.
I can see where all that would be. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would see where that would be catchy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, again, I think it's so cool. I think it's really, I just think that whole fellowship, it's just exactly what I've been sharing again about making your world bigger. That if you'll take time, but it takes effort to do
It
that.
takes effort. Yeah.
And you can't just, and it takes effort on your part more than it takes effort on some people, because you have to make that happen too.
Right.
You know, you got to put that out there and
Right.
make that happen. And I think it's all important. I've always said that if when I do leave here, if there's a few people standing there that say, "I'm gonna miss that boy," I'm gonna miss that old boy, because I know a lot of people that have left here, Betty, that nobody cared.
And that's sad. That's so sad. Have you ever been to a funeral and just a few people there, and it's
Yeah.
like, where are their friends? Where are their family?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, it's like,
Yeah,
it's sad, isn't it?
it really is. You know, But I think what happens, some people live that kind of life if they're
They
not
like
careful.
that type of life.
You know, you live
sometimes.
that isolated life, okay? And you know, my cousin told me the other day, we were talking, he said, you know, something I've said I'll never say again is, I just want to be left alone. He said, I will never say that again because that's wrong, and I don't want to be left alone. And but some people live their life like that. I think hateful little girls make hateful old women.
I think so
And mean
too.
little boys make mean old men.
I think so too.
And it takes what we have to do to try to tame that. It's a big job. The Bible said we got to harness that tongue. Now, it doesn't say we'll ever just clean it up sometimes, but we got to learn to harness it. And I've always shared, you can think what you think, it's what you do get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Just hold on a little bit. Think it. You might think you want to slap somebody, but hold on to it just a little bit there and just take your time back. And I don't know. But I think it's cool. Sharing recipes, traveling, gee whiz. I don't know.
Just out there to have a good time.
Yes.
I wonder if there's a men's version of this out there anywhere. I think
If
they call
not,
it.
make it.
They call it the UFC. I believe that would be more of the men's version.
UFC?
The UFC, Ultimate Fighters.
Oh. I don't know about that now.
No. But you can make your own. You really can, because, like I said, it's wonderful. I wouldn't. Now that I know what the Red Hatters are all about, I'm glad. And like I said, it's one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Oh, you know, I think a lot of times in a lot of churches, you know, have a lot of different men's groups and they get together, and this is really good. Men's prayer breakfasts and different things like
Right,
that. And
right.
I think all those things are good. But anything that encourages fellowship, you know, along that line.
Well, that's like the Grundy group, the Red Hat from Grundy. They formed a group from their church. It's their church members. And then some was added, of course, you know. But that's where it was started, in her church. She started in her church, just meeting and having lunch, dinner, or going to plays or whatever. So you could, you know, you do what you want to do, you know.
Yeah, I think it's cool. And I, you know, I hope there's other people that sort of catch that in their heart and in their spirit that do that. You know, that you know. Now I don't want to see 100 people come in and be part of what you're doing, because that would really make a mess. But you know, people that come in and catch that and know that they need to fellowship, they need to go out, and they need to make friends.
Well, anybody can start their own Red Hat Society.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to join mine. You can start your own and have your own rules.
Right. I would do the tattoos, though. I wouldn't do like y'all are. Y'all a little more lenient than I am on that.
Well, I don't-
Probably the only tattoos that we would probably encourage would be the kind that you can wash off.
And I've had those before
Yeah.
on my face. I've had some.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mardi Gras.
I tried to get my wife to get me. I wanted to do this like Mike Tyson, that lightning up around the neck. I told her, I said, every time I see that, I said, let me just get a temporary tattoo like that. And now my son don't have any tattoos. My daughters love them. Okay, and I've got one daughter that loves Christmas. And she just had Santa Claus tattooed the other day on her. She loves Christmas.
Oh.
She's a Christmas machine. I mean, trees all over
like
the house,
Christmas.
and she's just she loves the Christmas stuff. And I tried to get my grandson to get a tattoo. I designed one the other day and sent it to him. It says, "I loved my pawpaw," with a heart. And I said, if you'll do that, I'll go out to the dealership and go ahead and pick you out a new car and get you set up.
Are
on
you
that.
serious?
Yes, if he'll get him a tattoo, I'll get him set up. I'll go ahead and start making the payments and get him a car. But he won't do it.
What's so important about a tattoo?
I just think it'd be really cool if he had "I love my papa" on his arm.
Okay.
But he won't get it.
He won't do it.
No, he's too
Well, the thing
logical.
about tattoos, though, they're permanently, unless it, well,
But if
you
it's
can
a
have it
family
removed.
member,
but-
then it'd be okay, I think, because I have 2 daughters and they have tattoos, which my husband did too, but I don't. But I feel everybody's for their own.
Yeah.
But if it's a family member, it'd be
Right.
okay.
I see a lot of people do. They'll do special dates or things that they remember,
Right.
and then I got a lot of people that get them and regret them when they get later on.
Yes,
You know, and
yes.
I got a son-in-law like this that sort of got one on him, and he really regrets it at the point he
Oh,
got it.
yeah, because you get old and it starts falling down. It's just like a basket of roses, or a long stem rose. It turns into a hanging basket. So It depends on how you want to look at these tattoos.
I always wanted to get a Woody Woodpecker on my arm because I was like Woody Woodpecker, but I was scared they'd look like a dead chicken.
Yeah,
about
it would.
True.
And I had my aunt's husband who's passed away. I could have sworn he had a Woody Woodpecker on his arm, and he's been dead for 20 years. But I called her a while back because I was arguing with my cousin about it. And I said, didn't he have, as Richard was his name, didn't he? No, he never. I said,
You dreamed it.
Somehow I dreamed he had that tattoo for all those years. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
I don't know. A little late to figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, again, I thank you, Sharon. I appreciate you. And
Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Your northern accent didn't come off really abrasive. You come off pretty good with the accent.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think Betty and I covered it up pretty good.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But Betty, I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to you coming back. I want to talk sometime about Tazewell. Mm-hmm. And I know you. How long have you been in Tazewell?
All my life.
Okay. See,
I was raised in Horse Pen.
See, that's what I feel like you'll
Yeah.
know. I'd like to talk about. There's a lot of history here
It's
that people
a lot.
don't remember.
That's true.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if I remember everything,
Well,
but
we'll make
I'm
up
terrible
what we
with
don't.
names.
We'll
I can
come up
remember
with it.
faces.
I mean,
but-
people don't remember things like the livestock market being out here.
Oh, really? I
where
remember
Food Line
that.
was- it was a big thing.
Yeah, I heard
mean,
Food Line.
There's so much
Yeah.
stuff. I don't remember where McDonald's used to be, even that short a time ago.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that people don't remember here in Tazewell. And I thought about going around and just taking the truck and stopping in some places and talking about some different places, what used to be here. Because people don't remember
Oh, yeah.
the stuff that was in this area.
Yeah, just like over in Brooks Garden.
Yeah.
That's a story in
Oh,
itself
man.
over there.
So many things. I mean, they're around it, and and some people it'll strike a chord and they'll like it. But I think with history, and I just like that type of history. I really I enjoy that. I like sharing it, taking time and doing it.
Yeah.
All right, well, ladies, thank you so much. Sharon, appreciate
you.
you. Really
Thank
do.
you.
Betty, appreciate you.
You're welcome.
This hasn't been too hard.
Thanks for having us.
I
Yes.
told you it wouldn't be too hard. It'd be just fine. Thank y'all so much.
Thank
It's our hope that you enjoyed John Dash and Friends today. Your host, John Dash, believes these television programs serve as preserving history, capturing meaningful conversations and life lessons for generations to come. Each week, he sits down with friends from all walks of life as they share their wisdom, their stories, and their life experiences. If you enjoyed today's program, you can find us on all social media platforms. Just search John Dash and Friends. We're on Facebook and TikTok as well. In closing, John and his family thank you for allowing us to introduce you to their friends. We look forward to seeing you next time on John Dash and Friends.